downfield, catches it for a touchdown.
Would you look at that? Evergreen. Would you look at that?
Suarez there. Cool with the big three. Great. Takes it all the way now. Nice.
Hello everybody, Matt Griffin here at McKenzie Stadium for Day 2 of the Greater St. Helens League 3A and 4A Track and Field Championships. Another great day of track and field action. Just like yesterday, we're going to talk about track and field and what a wonderful day it is here to celebrate our student athletes and all the competition that they're bringing to the track today. Just like yesterday, we're going to be bringing students up to the winner's circle for the individual event winners. And I'll be joined by Rodney Lawrence in just a little bit. We're going to get underway with our first running event about 4 o'clock. We're starting off. I don't remember if it's the boys or the girls. I think it's the boys 3,200, but 3A followed by the 4A. We will be back just before 4 o'clock, hoping Rodney Lawrence can make it here. He's got some stuff going on. But live coverage will stay on the air. But right now we're just going to throw it to some sights and sounds of McKenzie Stadium while we work out some technical stuff and get some of our student volunteers trained up on some of our cameras. And we will be back just right before 4 o'clock for Day 2 of the Greater St. Helens League Track and Field Championships. I think if we're ready, let's take a look at the track and we'll show you the competitors getting ready to make their way around the track for the girls 3A 3,200 meter run, 8 times around. Here are your competitors: Carla Calleja Avalos from Mountain View, Willow Branch Flower from Prairie, Skylar Dops from Mountain View, Annie Anderson from Prairie, Claire Rogge from Evergreen. We'll talk about her a little bit more in a second. Sophia Cheslock from Kelso, Zoe Jensen from Prairie, Morgan Gedry from Mountain View, Lily Ellen Evans from Kelso, and Somi Robles from Prairie. Now, Claire Rogge from Evergreen, just a sophomore, won the girls' 3A 1,600 meter run yesterday with a new PR, just a massive PR for her, 5:34.97. She said it was a little warm during the race. I mean, our athletes have been, competing through a really soggy April. So they're finally getting some sunshine. A little bit warmer expected today. So we'll see how the heat affects them. But 8 times around the track. Gun is up, and they are off. And just like yesterday, Claire Rogge out to the front early. I think she had a challenge a little bit late, but retook the lead. Key to this race is patience. Going out too fast in the 3,200, I mean, it's a problem in any race you're competing in. You've got to pace yourself, but going out too fast in a 3,200 can be a worse problem to have than if you go out too fast in the 1,600, because you're going to be out there. The girls are going to be out there for 12 plus minutes, give or take. Claire with the best seed time by about 12 seconds, 11 seconds. Her seed time in this event is 12:19.19. If you'd like to follow along at home, there are as close to real-time live results as possible. That's live.athletic.net. First lap in about 82 seconds. So while we watch the runners out on the track, I'm going to call up liveathletic.net so I can have the timing myself. I think if I were hardwired into the internet, I would have a lot better look at their current times, but because I'm on Wi-Fi, it's a little bit slower. Six and a half laps to go. .251 and change for 2 laps. Take a look at my heat sheets here. I believe that's Sophia Cheslock from Kelso running in the number 2 spot, and then some distance in between her and the 3 and 4 runners. I believe that is Zoe Jensen and Annie Anderson from Prairie High School. Sophia Raggi opening up about a 30-meter lead over Sophia Cheslock from Kelso. 5.5 laps remaining. .424 for 3 laps. 5 laps remaining in this girls 3A 3,200-meter run. Now 3,200 meters is the distance that the boys and girls run in Washington State. Across the river in Oregon, it'll be 3,000 meters. But for 3,000 meters in the state of Washington, Sophia Cheslock from Kelso, who's running in the number 2 spot there, has the 9th fastest time in the year at the 3,000 meter mark for the 3A in the state of Washington. Claire Raggi, just a nice steady pace, opening up about a 50-meter gap on Sophia Cheslock from Kelso. coming up on, I believe that's 3.5 laps remaining if I'm not losing count. Claire yesterday, when she came up to the winner's circle, was talking about how important it was. She wasn't sure if she'd have a distance running teammate on the girls' side at Evergreen High School, but was so thankful to have another girl step up and to the distance ranks over at Evergreen High School. And so she said it was just so important for her training. And that really is important to have somebody that you can run with and key off of. Yeah, she gave high praise to her teammate Daniela Vasquez Gonzalez, who also had a nice showing yesterday in the girls 3A 1600 meter run. Not in this event today, perhaps not running it or didn't have the marks needed to fill out the field. And here's Claire coming into the home stretch. When she crosses the finish line here, she'll have 2 laps remaining. As I said, just a nice steady pace. And there's 2 laps remaining for Claire. Nice, long, relaxed stride. And at just a sophomore, she's got lots of places she can go, especially if she keeps up her summer miles. Sophia Cheslock there, running in the second spot, closing the gap a little bit. Seems to be picking up her pace just a little bit. Not out of it yet. As we mentioned yesterday, there was quite a battle during that third lap in the girls 3A 1600. And seeing Sophia Cheslock come around, I think she's closed the gap by 5 or 6 meters. And as they come around, all right, getting ready for our bell lap. And there's Claire Rogge and Sophia Cheslock in second. Let's see if Sophia's got some kick and can close this gap a little bit. It's going to take a lot. And that's Annie Anderson just coming across with 1 lap to go from Kelso. As Claire Rogge strides it out. .200 meters left to go for Claire Rogge. for her second 3A championship of the weekend, or of the week. It feels like a weekend to me. It's warm enough to be. I hope everybody can stay cool when it gets real hot this week. Talking to the crew about how we need to remind ourselves to drink a little bit more water. I think a lot of us, even though we're out of the sun in the shade here at McKenzie Stadium, didn't drink enough water. It can really drain you, so imagine how these athletes feel. And the applause there for another district championship for Claire Rogge. Well done. About 12:23 and change, which is a little bit off her best mark, but nothing to be ashamed of on such a warm day. And there's Sophia Cheslock, about 12:37 and change. And then we're looking for our first Kelso runner, Annie Anderson. About 12:56. And then we'll see her teammate coming down the home stretch there. This will be, I believe this is Zoe Jensen. I believe so. Another Prairie runner coming across the line right there. So we'll refresh the web browser a couple times as we get ready for the girls 4A 3200. Yeah, you can see how hot it is there just to the right of the timer's tent. If we can pan across there, Nathan, you can see Claire, some of her friends are dumping water on her head to the right there. There we go, right in there. Yeah, just out in the sun. Claire came over there and had friends at the ready to, or no, that was one of our Prairie runners, sorry, dumping water on her head. So it'll be a couple minutes yet before we bring all the last runners in this race in and bring the girls 4A 3,200 meters onto the track. Oh, there's a race. That's awesome. Never giving up. So we had a couple folks come up a little bit earlier who won a relay event yesterday. Going to come up into our winner circle. We'll start those interviews as soon as we have some event winners come up and chat with us. Again, if you'd like to follow along at home, the results are located at live.athletic.net. You'll need to scroll down and look for the 3A, 4A GSHL district meet. There's lots of meets going on across the country. Athletic.net, one of the largest running data platforms, and so you'll need to scroll down. Lots and lots of track meets going on today across the country. I'm hoping to break away sometime after 6. I might have to have Rodney take over to watch my daughter race at her NCAA Division I Mountain West Conference meet down in California today. She's running the 1,500 meter today just after 6 o'clock tonight, so hopefully there might be a break in the action and I can go away and watch my daughter run for 4 minutes or so. Looks like we have one more runner on the track before we bring the 4A girls out. They're at the kind of lower left of your screen there, getting ready to come out onto the track, but we got to finish up this event first. Big round of applause for our last competitor here. Nice finish under tough conditions. It's warm out there. All right, so let's take a look at our entrance now for the event 38 of the meet. This is our second running event of the day, the 4A 3,200 meter run. For girls, Brooke Stewart from Battleground, Abigail Grant from Skyview, Kayla Gorchels from Union, Natalie Petty from Camas, Jalen Lehner from Union, Charlotte Wilson from Union, Bethany McKinstry from Camas, Gracie Bazell from Camas, Lauren Amato from Skyview, Elizabeth Nava from Camas, Juhai Lee from Union, and Sarah Thompson from Union. What you'll notice there, lots and lots of Camas runners. Rodney and I talked about this yesterday, about what a deep bench Camas has. Long known for its distance running program. We've had a number of state championships, state champions, both on the boys and girls sides. Charlotte Wilson comes in with the fastest seed time, 10:44, by a good 30-plus seconds over Bethany McKinstry of Camas. They are off. So your top three seeds are Charlotte Wilson from Union, Bethany McKinstry from Camas, and Jalen Lehner from Camas. Just refreshing my browser here, hoping to get the results for the 3A run. See what Claire Rogge's winning time was. Going to the 1,600 meter from yesterday, the 4A. Charlotte Wilson was the winner in 5:05.10. So she had a great race. It was close. Daphne Evenson from Skyview, second in 5:06, just by a second. But as we predicted, or at least as the seed times would have us believe, there they are, Union, Camas, and Union. 1, 2, 3, followed by the two more Camas runners. Charlotte Wilson and Bethany McKinstry, both real aggressive out of the gate. They're really moving. In a race this long, in temperatures that are climbing quickly, Charlotte Wilson's going to be doing a little bit more work, with Bethany McKinstry just kind of sitting off of her shoulder there. But content to let Charlotte Wilson do the work. Let's see if she can open up a lead at some point. It is a lot of work to lead a race this distance from the starter's gun all the way to the tape. And there we go. I think we've got all of our results in for no, I'm still waiting for results from the 3A 3200. Don't know if they're having some trouble at the timer's tent or if just that there were so many entrants that taken a while. 5 laps remaining. Our 1-2 runners, they're setting a pretty blistering pace. Mentioned that Charlotte Wilson's seed time was 10:44, and at this pace, she's well better than that right now. Or maybe about right on. Let's see. So maybe a little bit shy of her seed time for pace right now. If she can run an even pace, should be just under 11 minutes. And there are the results that just came across. Claire Rogge winning the girls 3A 3200 in a time of 12:23.28. With Sophia Cheslock in second, 12:37.58, and Annie Anderson from Prairie in third, 12:56.09. And there it is. Charlotte Wilson opening up about a 20-meter lead. Charlotte Wilson right now, her 10:44.14 seed time currently ranks 4th in the entire state of Washington for girls in the 4A division. So, I mean, you're watching a top 10 ranked runner in the state right here. And that's her, just 3 laps remaining, I believe. From the looks of it, Charlotte Wilson's probably running some negative splits here, which is tough to do in such a long race. But to drop her time down on successive laps as we reach the final 2 laps is an impressive feat. About 2.5 laps to go. And there she is lapping, I think, one of her first runners. Two laps to go for Charlotte Wilson. Bethany McKinstry coming down the home stretch here. She's got about 2 laps remaining. She does have 2 laps remaining. There she is, 2 laps to go for Bethany. And Charlotte Wilson opening up about an 80-meter lead and really just turning it on. More confident than ever that she is running a couple negative splits in here. Lap and a half remaining. And there's the bell lap for Charlotte Wilson of Union High School. As I mentioned, 4th fastest time in the state of Washington in the 4A division this year. She is just a junior, so she's got some more fast times ahead of her. Charlotte ran that fastest time, 4th fastest time, back on April 22nd at the Oregon Relays big event across the river. That's down at University of Oregon's Hayward Field. And for a runner as powerful as Charlotte Wilson's, it would be easy to just coast into the finish, but look at this. She's still got gas left in the tank and is going to kick it on home as hard as she can to get the best time possible. Not going to match her 10:44, but a really great time. She's going to cross the tape just over 11 minutes. Great run. 11:04-ish for her second district championship of this meet. And here we have Bethany McKinstry coming up into the home stretch. And there she is, Bethany McKinstry, second in a time of around 11:30. And then here is her teammate, Jalen Lehner. No, I'm sorry. That might have been Gracie Bazell. Great race. There's Charlotte congratulating her teammates and her competitors. These athletes see one another a lot throughout the season. Not uncommon to strike up friendships and training partnerships because they run a lot of miles over the course of the season. Not uncommon to have some of these runners be training partners, especially over the summer when it's real key for the distance runners to get in a lot more mileage. So it's going to be a couple minutes yet. We've got to finish up this race and get all the runners across. And then it's going to take a couple minutes to set up the hurdles for our long hurdles events of the day. The 300-meter hurdles, 3/4 of the way around the track. So it does take a while to get those set. So we might need to stop down for a couple minutes as we get those hurdles up and going. So I'll step away for a couple moments, and we will be right back with more coverage of the Greater St. Helens League Track and Field Championships, Day 2. And we are off. I thought that would happen a little bit later than it did. My apologies. But as expected, we are going to have Kyle Chen, who won the 100-meter hurdles yesterday, out in front with a commanding performance. He's got one of the fastest times in the state in both the 100 and the 300-meter hurdles, winning decisively his second championship of the day, followed by Silas Watkins from Kelso in second, and Ryan Mungai from Heritage, I believe that was, in third. My apologies, that happened a lot quicker than I thought. So we will get, so what happens next is the hurdle crews will adjust any hurdles that got bumped or knocked down, make sure they're even for the next race. It doesn't usually take a lot of time. We usually have 10 folks around for each hurdle spot. I guess it's not 10, is it? I need Rodney here. Okay, so let's take a look at the lane assignments. This will be for the 4A boys 300-meter hurdles. My apologies for coming in late for that 3A race, but we did get the finish. So here it is: Edward Tenbrink from Union in lane 1, Calvin Hubbard from Battleground in lane 2, Cody Young from Camas in lane 3, Max Ensinger from Camas in lane 4, Jonathan McAtee from Skyview in lane 5, Colby Warner is in lane 6 from Skyview, Carson Clary from Skyview in lane 7, lane 8 is Jordan Warren from Union, and Noah Larson on the outside of the track for Union. Fastest seed time here is going to be Max Ensinger in lane 4. They're always going to get the best lane assignment for our fastest runner. He's got a time coming in of 41.39. They are heading into their blocks right now. All right, the gun is up. Clean start. Look in lane 4. Max Ensinger from Camas. He's going to be running neck and neck with his teammate Cody Young, and Jonathan McAtee from Skyview with also a very fast seed time, 42.71. And it is a race. It's going to come down to this last hurdle. And no, Skyview. Colby Warner from Skyview with a big upset. Coming over that last hurdle really strong and powering through the finish. Max Ensinger from Camas in the lead just over that second to last hurdle. And I'm looking at the last hurdles here, and nearly every one of them are crooked. So everybody hit that, just about everybody hit that last hurdle. So good work there, Colby Warner from Skyview. Looking at the results there of the 3A boys 300-meter hurdles, Kyle Chen, of course, the winner, 42.47, his latest championship of the meet. And then Silas Watkins from Kelso was second in 43.01, and Ryan Mugai from Heritage third with a time of 44.14. All right, so we are getting the hurdles. For the girls, 3A 300-meter hurdles, we've got to drop them down a couple notches as we get ready for the 3A. I think it's not too early to take a look at the lane assignments for the 3A girls 300-meter hurdles. Get your lane assignments here. Hope Wabena from Mountain View will be in lane 1. Abby Buck from Prairie in lane 2. Lane 3 will be Julie Ogbiama from Prairie. Josie Settle, who won the 100-meter hurdles yesterday with an incredible run in lane 4. She's ranked in among the top in the state. Diamond Dutrieve from Prairie in lane 5. Emma Smith from Prairie in lane 6. And Maya Buck from Kelso in lane 7. Gonna switch over to yesterday. Gonna find the state rankings for the 3A girls. I mentioned just how quick Josie Settle is, and yes, she has the fastest time of the year for the 3A division in the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 14.93. She was just 3/100ths shy of that yesterday, probably the second fastest time in the state this year, so she's got the first 2 times in the state. And leading the state in the 3A division as well in the 300-meter hurdles, 45.43, and that is her seed time here. Barring any catastrophe, she's going to be the one to watch. Of course, in lane 4, let's see if the weather and the heat will cooperate and see if she can even best her state leading time of 45.43. Josie is a senior. She told us yesterday she's heading to Idaho State, or was it University of Idaho? I'm forgetting. But we'll chat with her again. She was a kick, really energetic. One of my favorite Winter Circle interviews yesterday when she came up to chat with us. Starter's pistol is up, calling the runners into their blocks. Take them a couple moments to get set. Clean start. And my goodness, Josie Settle out like a rocket. Already over the first hurdle. She just makes this look so effortless. She's going to win to the point where we can't even get the second place runner in the frame until they get to the straightaway. 3 hurdles remaining. Clean. Just real efficient over the hurdles. My goodness. 44 and change. I bet you she just ran the fastest time in the state this year. Not certain of that because, you know, we're just eyeballing the clock on the other side of the track, but I would not be surprised if that was the fastest time for the 3A girls this year. Congratulating her teammates and her competitors. Can't wait to get her up here. We're going to do one more race and then we'll do our first winner's circle interview. I'm going to go start hitting refresh on my phone because I want to see how fast that race was. Let's take a look at our entrants for the 4A girls 300-meter hurdles. Ryan Manson from Union in lane 1, Audrey Joner from Battleground in lane 2, Amara Harris from Camas in lane 3, Amemtik Perry, who won the 100-meter hurdles yesterday from Skyview in lane 4, Raleigh Fisher from Skyview in lane 5, Aubrielle Clark from Battleground in lane 6, Catherine Sittler from Camas in lane 7, Heidi Gertz from Skyview in lane 8, and Haley Luff on the outside in lane 9 from Battleground. Fastest seed time here in the girls 4A hurdles, Raleigh Fisher, Memtic Perry, of course, from Skyview with a time of 48.79. Don't have anybody in this race ranked in the top 10 in the 4A category, but I'm guessing, just from what I can see here, that Amemtek Perry's time is probably just outside the top 10. As I wait on the results, I'm guessing that Josie Settle's winning time in that race, 44.85. 44.85, so gonna go across here, 44. My goodness, yes. Josie Settle, that was a race you're going to want to remember because you just watched her run the fastest time in the state in either the 3A or the 4A divisions with a time of 44.85. That's a personal best for her by nearly half a second, and over the course of 300 meters, that is impressive. We'll see if we can't get her up here in a little bit. Our coach is doing a great job of sending up their athletes for the winner's circle. Gun is up. Clean start. Watch for Amemtek Perry. Already to the first hurdle in lane 4, first over. Nice, efficient running style. Really long strides there. A little stutter step before that third hurdle, it looked like. 3 hurdles remaining. Memtech Perry commanding lead. Just under 46 seconds for Memtech Perry. And second was Amara Harris from Camas. So we'll get ready for our first interview here in the winner's circle. As we get set, we'll take a look at those girls at the finish. Boy, you can tell it is hot out there. Girl stretching. 1 second here, Wade, while I get ready. Just checking my notes from yesterday before we do this interview. All right, let's bring Claire Rogge back into the winner's circle. Claire, you won the girls 3A 1600 meter yesterday. How'd you feel about today's victory in the 3200?
Hot.
A little bit warmer than yesterday?
Very, very excited, very happy, but also hot.
Yeah.
And it's a little dry out. It was awesome. It was great.
Tell me about your run. I mean, where does this stack? I think this was off your best by a little, but a little bit warmer.
Yeah, it was a lot bit warmer, but I mean, I wasn't that far off. I think my season record this year is like 12:19, and
Okay.
I ran in like 12:20 range today. So
Right.
I was pretty happy with how it went as far as like the conditions were, but yeah. I'd hope to speed it up a little bit at regionals.
Well, and I kept suggesting to folks that it looked like in your final mile you were running a couple negative splits. You really seemed to be striding out and dropping it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Did it feel like that to you?
Yeah, I had my coach, aka my mom. She was giving me she was shouting at me about lengthening my strides. So I listened and I worked on that, and I think it worked out well for me.
All right, moms can be good that way.
Yeah.
So you're just a sophomore. I'm a former distance runner and distance coach, so
awesome.
I'm just going to give you some advice. Put in those summer miles, and we'll see more district championships out of you next year. So run this summer.
Definitely.
All right. You've earned a rest first, but make sure you put in some summer miles.
Definitely. I look forward to it.
All right. All right. So there we have Claire Rogge, two-time district champion, winning the girls 3A 3200 meter run. And we are getting ready for our next event. They are clearing the hurdles off the track, and we will be getting ready for the 800 meter run for boys and girls. We are just heard the final call calling the 3A boys 800 meter runners to the track. We're still waiting for the starter to get in position. This is a little bit different race than the hurdles, obviously. So we've got to make some adjustments here. They got all the hurdles off the track. The runners here 2 times around. They'll be on a staggered start. They will run the first 100 meters in their lanes, and on the far side of the track, to your upper right, I think it's probably just off camera, there'll be a row of cones on the far side of the track, and once they run through those cones, they will be able to cut into the inside lane. Let's take a look at your lane assignments here. Oh, and here's the rest of them. They're all getting out here at the last second. Isaiah Salath DeWater from Heritage in lane 1. Sebastian Nahar from Evergreen in lane 2. Dakota Hufek from Prairie in lane 3. Jake Beck from Kelso in lane 4. Aiden Walker from Prairie in lane 5. Ellis English from Prairie in lane 6. Jace Gallant from Evergreen in lane 7. Samuel Juarez from Heritage in lane 8. Aiden Sparman from Kelso in lane 9. And in my program, I saw a section 2. So I don't know if he is in section 2 or if they're actually going to stagger Ramon Garrison from Heritage. Actually, I think they are putting him on the track as well. Yes, so we'll have 2 people in lane 9, it looks like. Yeah, so 10 runners on the track. So I think you can see on the far right of your screen how they've got 2 runners kind of staggered there in the outside lane. A little bit challenging. They may give them a little bit of leeway as they make their way around the track. The top seed time in this is Jake Beck in lane 4 from Kelso with a time of 2 minutes, 0.35 seconds, followed closely by Aiden Walker with a time of 2 minutes, 0.56 seconds. No runner in this heat has broken the 2-minute barrier, which for 800 meters in high school is just such a huge psychological barrier. So to go under 2 minutes for these athletes is a big accomplishment. I remember the first time I ran under 2 minutes. That was a day to celebrate. And they're cutting to the inside of the track right there through the cones. And that is Jake Beck from Kelso out in front. Aiden Walker from Prairie in there mixing it up along with Dakota Hufek, his teammate. The top seed time's right at 2 minutes and change, so this is going to be a great finish here. And right now they are on pace if they can run a level split or a negative split to run just under 2 minutes. Let's see if they can do it. Okay, and there's somebody going out to the front. Let's see if he's gone too early. I tell my 800-meter runners that you really want to make your move with about 300 meters to go, 250 meters to go, and that's right about where he went. So let's see. Let's see if Jake Beck can respond with the best seed time coming into this. Might be too late. Absolutely impressive run here. Great finish. Right at 2 minutes. Don't know that they broke it, but I'm going to have to do some checking. I believe that was the number 5 seed. I think that might have been Ellis English from Prairie. I can't say for sure. I believe that might have been Ellis English, but I can't say for sure. My apologies if it wasn't. We'll know in just a second here. As I go over to my live results at live.athletic.net and hit refresh a couple times. So here are the competitors in the boys 4A 800 meter. Caleb Hull from Union in lane 1, Zachary Zamora Battleground in lane 2, Samuel Shepard from Skyview in lane 3, Grayson Caldwell from Union in lane 4, James Puffer, who won the 1600 yesterday, from Camas in lane 5, Gabriel Marcham from Camas in lane 6, Riley Davis from Union in lane 7, Caden Souquet from Camas in lane 8, and Tobias Jeffries from Camas in lane 9. A bunch of athletes in this event under 2 minutes, with Grayson Caldwell from Union in lane 4 with the fastest seed time, a really impressive time, 1:56.64. I'm going to see if I've got time to dip across to my rankings in the 4A division, because I'd be willing to bet that that's right up there. Yeah, Grayson Caldwell, who is in lane 4, is currently ranked 6th in the state in the 4A division. So the winner of this race is almost certainly to go under 2 minutes. Clean start. Once they get to the far side of the track, they'll be able to cut to the center lane. Looks like we had Samuel Shepard out in front. Grayson Caldwell a little bit late, got a little bunched up as they headed to the inside lanes. Not on pace to break 2 minutes. Might be a little hot out there, but let's see if they can run a negative split. Grayson Caldwell out front. I believe that might be James Puffer taking the lead, who won the boys 1600 meter. And then here comes Samuel Shepard from Skyview into second. And they are going to run a negative split. They are absolutely hammering away in this final 200. Just at 2 minutes. And I believe that is James Puffer from Camas with a big win. And again, it was James Puffer who won the boys 4A 1600 meter run yesterday. Checking my notes. Lots of paper to go through. Yeah, James Puffer won the boys 4A 1600 meter yesterday with a time of 4:26.13. Congratulations to our runners. There'll be a moment here before we get our 3A girls onto the track. right, so we have the 3A girls heading onto the track for the 3A girls 800. What's going to be exciting here, she doesn't have the fastest time going in, but Claire Rogge has been having an absolutely wonderful track meet, winning 2 district titles, but she will also be one of the competitors in this next race coming up as they wait to get the times in for that last race and get the timers tent all set. They've called the girls onto the inside of the track, just off the track, so they can stay out of the sun, get into the shade for a couple moments. Just like yesterday, not a lot of wind out here at McKenzie Stadium, which can be a problem as we head into the late spring. But not a lot of wind, so you're not having to fight a headwind on one side of the track. Yeah, so let's take a look at our lane assignments as they head onto the track. For the 3A girls 800, Delia Austin from Prairie in lane 1, Sadie Shire from Kelso in lane 2, Haley Gunnarsson from Heritage in lane 3, Margarita Mahai from Heritage in lane 4, Daniela Vasquez Gonzalez from Evergreen in lane 5, Claire Rogge, yep, she's out there in lane 6, Phoebe Wilson from Mountain View in lane 7, Sienna McNeil from Mountain View in lane 8, and Madison Fowler from Kelso in lane 9. Taking a look at our fastest seed time is going to be in lane 4, Margarita Mahai from Heritage with a time of 2:34.22. Our top 4 or 5 seeds all under 2:38, so looking for another real competitive race here. They will put the athletes on the short stagger here. Just getting results of that last for a boys 800, and that was James Puffer with another district title, his second in 2 days, with a time of 2 minutes and 0.2 seconds, followed closely by Samuel Shepard from Skyview in second, 2 minutes 0.87 seconds. Zachary Zamora from Battleground in lane 3rd with a time of 2:01.07. Grayson Caldwell falling to 4th after having the fastest seed time of the day and one of the fastest times in the state. Not the best race of his season, of course. All right. We have the starter just off your screen to the right-hand side on the short stagger here. Okay. I guess he's going to have everybody step back just a second, get everybody settled. Part of this is a learning curve for some of our athletes who don't know always where they're to set. Okay, clean start. In their lanes for the first 100 meters. And then through the cones and to the inside lane. Don't want to run any further than you have to. And that was a clean cut to the inside. And that is Margarita Mahai, or Mahai, in the lead. Real aggressive first lap. At the collegiate and the professional levels, 800 meters is just a pure sprint, but when you're in high school, it's kind of a mix of middle distance and sprints. And so that was Daniela Vasquez Gonzalez from Evergreen in third. And then Kelso, that was, I believe that's Sadie Shershire in third. Shire. Sadie, I'm sorry. Try my best to make the pronunciations work. Margarita Mahai from Heritage with a commanding lead, about 10 meters. Daniela Vasquez Gonzalez from Evergreen in third. Coming down to the finish. Boy, a real aggressive run from Margarita from Heritage. Just great. She was first to the cones, first to the inside of the track, and she's going to win it. Margarita from Heritage, Daniela from Evergreen, and Sadie from Kelso. 1, 2, 3. Round of applause coming here for our last competitor across the line. Good sportsmanship all the way around. It is warm out there. I see the 4A competitors doing some sprints across the track to stay loose. As they clear the track, let's take a look at the lane assignments for the girls 4A 800 meter. Ella Koch from Union in lane 1, Brianna Mazilu from Camas in lane 3, Kaylee Morovitz from Camas in lane 4, Daphne Evenson from Skyview in lane 4, Elisa Marshall from Camas in lane 5, Amelia Merritt from Camas in lane 6, Evelyn Reed from Skyview in lane 7, Rebecca Petty from Camas in lane 8, and Abigail Rounds from Union in lane 9. And they are just making their way onto your screen and out onto the course. Wind picking up just a little bit, but it doesn't look unmanageable. All right, they're making their way onto the track. Your fastest seed time in this race will be Daphne Evenson from Skyview with a time of 2:19.28. Just like 2 minutes is kind of a psychological barrier for the boys. 2:20, kind of a big goal for some of our faster girls. So we have 2 competitors in this race, Daphne Evenson and Elisa Marshall from Camas, both under 2:20. On the slight stagger, up to the green line. Don't know if you can see that on your screen, but they've got a green line that's just beyond the big white number. That's just before the big white number on your screen where the 800-meter runners step to their marks. All right, the starter's pistol is up. Quick start. And look for Daphne Evenson from Skyview in lane 4, and she's already made up that stagger. Elisa Marshall pushing her. Let's see who's first to the cones and to the inside of the track. And it's going to be Daphne Evenson and Elisa Marshall for sure, just off of her right shoulder. I believe that's another Camas runner. I think that's Kaylee Moravitz running in the 3rd spot. Okay, this is going to be a race. Three of them there together right at the bell lap. Daphne Evenson with an ever so slight lead. Let's see how the backstretch treats her. Running 3 across with 250 meters left to go. Camas runners out front. Yep, and they're going to step to the inside. Maybe a little stutter step, but they did it commandingly. I don't think Daphne Evenson's going to be able to respond. And my goodness, this final 200 from these 2 Camas runners. Two teammates pushing each other. Wow, absolutely impressive run. Our winner there with a time of 2:16 and change, which is absolutely tremendous. I believe she has the number 5 bib, number 5 number on, so I'm going to try and do some figuring here and see if I can figure out who that is. Boy, it's going to take me a second to figure this out. I'm not sure I know which Camas runner won it. We're just going to have to hit refresh here on our results. So as we wait for these results, I can tell you it's going to take a couple minutes for our next event to get set. These will be the 200-meter runs. I'm going to pop over to the 4A top times of the year for the girls. And I think that race we just watched is going to rank up there as one of the fastest times in the state this year. If it was in the 2:16 range, I'm guessing that our winner is probably ranked probably 6th or 7th in the state. Now, of course, this is all considering that there are other district championships taking place across the state today. All right, so let's take a look at our lane assignments for the boys 3A 200-meter run. Caden Bolds from Mountain View in lane 1. James Bethune from Evergreen in lane 2. Ryan Wood from Mountain View in lane 3. LaDamian McCord from Evergreen in lane 4. Ethan Cabral from Prairie in lane 5. Anthony Lamberth from Evergreen in lane 6. Deontay Griggs Spalding from Evergreen in lane 7. Aiden Richmond from Kelso in lane 8. And Malachi Nash from Evergreen in lane 9. I thought we'd have a bit of a break, but my goodness, they are running a really tight ship here. Our fastest time is going to be in lane 4, of course. LaDamian McCord, wonderful football player and track athlete, of course, from Evergreen High School with a time of 23.15. We'll get this race out of the way and then maybe see if we can do a quick winner's circle interview. I'm not sure we'll be able to pull it off, but we'll see. Clean start. LaDamian McCord out fast. Already with the stagger. He's going to be first into the straightaway. Boy, he's got 2 meters on, or a meter. My goodness. Okay. From gun to tape, LaDamian McCord in first. I think that's Prairie in second. That's Ethan Cabral in second. And I couldn't tell whether it was Ryan Wood or Anthony Lambers from Evergreen in third. So I'm going to step away just for a second, Wade, and I'll be back. All right, so let's take a look at the lane assignments for our next heat of the 200 meter. This is the 4A boys. Garrett Fandre from Battleground in lane 1. Jake Kennedy from Skyview in lane 2. Jack McDonald from Camas in lane 3. Caden Drabinski from Union in lane 4. Ben Halid from Union in lane 5. Eric Botnan from Skyview in lane 6. Joshua McKinstry from Camas in lane 7. Jaden Offord from Skyview in lane 8. Henry Rader from Union in lane 9. Fastest seed time is going to be in lane 4, of course, and that is Caden Drabinski with a time of 22.91. I think you can hear a little bit of that wind coming into my microphone. And it's a battle between lane 4 and 5. And that is going to be Ben Halid from Union with the win. It's going to take a little bit here. Before we get our next winner's circle, I just spoke with the winner of the girls 3A 800-meter run, Margarita Mahai. So we'll bring her up in just a couple of minutes while we get ready for our last 2 800-meter runs. Let's take a look at our lane assignments for this next race. This will be the girls 3A 200. Lila Kunda from Prairie in lane 1. Jules Staley from Prairie in lane 2. Victoria Males from Heritage in lane 3. Zamora Frazier, Mountain View in lane 5. Carson Ross from Kelso in lane 5. Allie Jensen from Prairie in lane 6. Olivia Snyder from Prairie in lane 7. Lane 8 is Tegan Irvin from Mountain View. And Savannah Griffin from Kelso, no relation, is in lane 9. Fastest seed time will be in lane 4. Zamora Frazier from Mountain View with a time of 26.34. A good second and a half better than Carson Ross from Kelso. So barring anything disastrous, you're going to look for the blue and white jersey in lane 4 from Zamora Frazier. I was talking a couple of moments ago about how fast that girls 4A 800-meter race was. Alicia Marshall with a winning time of 2:16.4 from Camas. She probably ranked 7th in the state of Washington for the 4A division with that race. I think we're getting the go-ahead from the timer's tent. Might be a little holdup. All right, calling the runners into their blocks. Again, look for Zamora Frazier in lane 4 to be first into the home stretch. Runners are set. Up. A little bobble at the start, I don't know. He didn't have to fire the gun twice, but somebody a little bobble. Not quite across the line. It's my understanding that you can do that twice and not be before you're disqualified, so a caution. Whereas at the state meet or regional meets, one false start and you would be disqualified. So a little teachable moment out here on the course, getting everybody to settle their nerves. Two false starts from the same runner, pretty rare. Clean start. And there she is, out like a rocket. Zamora Frazier. My goodness. 100 meters left to go. From gun to tape, Zamora Frazier, followed by Carson Ross from Kelso in second, and Victoria Males from Heritage in third. That's Zamora Frazier walking it off after a district title. Let's take a look at your lane assignments for our final 400-meter run, or I'm sorry, 200-meter run of the day. This is the girls 4A. Ava Jacobson in Skyview in lane 1. Mail Yancey from Camas in lane 2. Stacy Sutton from Battleground in lane 3. Madison Hubbard from Camas in lane 4. Dea Covarrubias from Skyview in lane 5, Savannah Garden from Camas in lane 6, Isabella Warren from Camas in lane 7, Olivia Martinez from Camas in lane 8, and Sitlali Seka from Union in lane 9. Now yesterday, Madison Hubbard, who has one of the leading 100-meter times of the year, was limping after her race, so I don't know if she's still out there or if she's scratched. It's kind of hard to see. But the winner of that 100-meter run was Dea Covarrubias with a time of 12.41. Great race with a new PR for her, just a sophomore. So she was, and she gave all credit to Madison Hubbard, who was expected to win that race, but a little bit injured. And I do see a gap out there on the track, so Madison Hubbard may have been a scratch here. So let's look for Dea Covarrubias in lane 5. Yeah, I'm only counting 7 runners out there, so we may have had 2 scratches. Clean start, Dea Covarrubias out really strong in lane 5. Given her seed time, I think this race is hers to lose. Wow. Good for her. Just a sophomore. She's going to win her 2nd district title here. Great couple days of running from her, Dea Covarrubias, the sophomore from Skyview, with the victory. So we're going to get set up here for a winner circle interview. All right, we are here in the winner circle with the winner of the girls 3A 800-meter run, Margarita Mahay. Congratulations. 2:47.91 was your winning time. It's a little bit off your best. How did you feel about your race?
Actually, I was wondering. I was just expected that I would be maybe 2nd.
Really?
But not first.
Was it warm out there? You know,
yeah, sun is make me exhausted.
And you're just a junior.
Yeah.
So how has your training been going this year?
I'm in a track and field 3 weeks.
You've only been running track and field for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
What? And a district championship after just 3 weeks of running? How is that possible?
I don't know. God bless me.
That's wonderful. I'm an old track and field runner and an old track and field coach. I would love to grab a hold of an athlete who has only been doing it for 3 weeks and then win a district championship. Okay, so here's what I want you to do over the summer, okay? You're going to run track and field next year?
Yeah.
Okay, so over the summer, I want you to run some miles, okay? Get some training in. The more miles, the better you're going to do next season. You're going to run cross country in the fall?
Yeah,
okay.
I think about it.
Okay, well, I'm going to encourage you to do that because somebody who can be on the track team for just 3 weeks and then win a district title should be running a little bit more, okay? And we're going to see you on the winner's stand next year, okay?
I hope so.
Okay, so let's put some miles in this summer. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That is one of the wildest things I have heard during this track meet. 3 weeks this kid has been running, and she's a district champion. Congratulations to Margarita from Heritage High School, winner of the girls' 3A 800-meter run. Okay, so we're going to throw it back out to the track and get ready for my bread and butter, the 3,200-meter run. It'll take a couple minutes to get everybody up here, but we'll get set in just a couple of seconds. All right, we were helping out the timers tent there. This is the boys 3A 3,200-meter run. Cameron Madison there out front. He won the boys 1,600-meter run yesterday. Wade, you can go ahead and show me the competitors here for this. Shackleton Hoyt, Mohib Khan, Luke Twist, Logan Bigelow, Jesus Rios, Cameron Madison from Kelso, Spencer Hoyt from Prairie, Ethan Peterson from Prairie, Owen Gallagher from Kelso, Tommy Wise from Prairie, and Chad Flint from Prairie. Now, we just stepped away to use our technology in our broadcast truck to show the timers tent. They had a little bit of problem with their automatic timing in the girls 3A 800-meter run, and they gave me a finish time of 2:47.91 from Margarita Mahai from Heritage, but she ran markedly faster than that. So our apologies to Margarita, but there was a problem in the timers tent, so we're getting that sorted, and they'll have to readjust the timer there. What you're hearing there is an absolutely awesome jump from a Prairie athlete in the high jump. That is Cameron Madison from Kelso High School. Who won the boys' 1,600-meter run yesterday. And I think that was his third district championship. He won both the 1,600 and the 3,200-meter run last year. And he's made a habit of winning, and he told me he really likes to run from out front, which is obvious here. He's got the best seed time going in by a good 50 seconds. Cameron Madison. I can't read that. I believe it's 6 laps remaining. Yeah, that would be 6 laps remaining. The race here, of course, unless there's a big disaster on Cam's part, is going to be for second, third, and so on. A big pack of runners. Every runner that's in the race still in a big chase pack there. Cameron Madison there with a 100-meter lead on the rest of the pack. And that'll be the halfway mark of the race for Cameron Madison. Running at about a 10-minute pace. Off his best if he continues with the steady pace. About 10 seconds pace. 10 minutes off his best. Jesus Rios from Kelso, his teammate, is in second with that much larger chase back, still about 100 meters back. There he is. A bunch of Prairie runners in there mixing it up as well. I believe Spencer Hoyt, Logan Bigelow, and Ethan Peterson are all in there as well. But again, this race is going to be all about Cameron Madison. Told us yesterday that he is headed to the University of Portland, which has a great Division I distance program. And I think that's going to be a really good fit for him. 3 laps remaining. Here's the chase pack led by Jesus Rios. 3 Prairie runners and our Evergreen runner towards the back of that pack. That would be, I believe that's Luke Twiss. Really nothing they can do at this point to close the distance on Cam Madison. Into the home stretch with about 900 meters left to go is Cam Madison. So what we're going to do is we'll get this race under the belt, and then we'll bring one of the athletes of the meet into the winner's circle. Josie Settle from Kelso, our star sprinter. 2 laps remaining for Cam Madison. And what you're hearing there is a real battle for the boys 3A high jump final. Got some fans up here cheering on our athletes. I believe we just have 2 athletes left in the high jump. Athlete from Evergreen and an athlete from Prairie. Cam Madison with 600 meters left to go. Coming down the home stretch, 450 meters left to go. Here comes Cam Madison for the bell lap. What a great run for him. And again, headed to the University of Portland, and got great things ahead. He'll be running with a bunch of runners that are a fair bit faster than he is, but he's going to have some wonderful training partners. Coming across now is our 3 runners from Prairie. Looking at my notes here, that'll be Logan Bigelow, Spencer Hoyt, and Ethan Peterson. Gonna take some notes here real quick. And here he is coming across the finish line. I believe this is his 4th district title, his 4th in 2 years. Back-to-back winners of both the boys 3A 1600 and the boys 3A 3200, 2 years running. And our runners from Prairie in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions. Jesus Rios from Kelso in 5th, and our runner from Evergreen in 6th. 1 second, taking some notes. Okay, we're going to step up into the winner's circle here in just a second. Got to find some more notes. One more set of notes. All right, so as we finish up this race and get ready to bring the 4A boys onto the track, we're going to step into the winner's circle real quick. And I think we are ready. I am so excited to welcome Josie Settle back into the winner's circle. I told the people watching at home on Comcast and YouTube that they needed to make note of that because you just ran you already had the fastest time in the state in the 300-meter hurdles, and you did even better today. Winning time of 44.85. That's a personal best, yeah?
Yes, it is, yeah.
How'd you feel about your race, man?
Oh, it was great. I mean, when I was crossing that finish line, I saw the 44, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, we got it right there. And then I got told the 44.85, and I'm like, new school record. I just broke my own record. I'm like, heck yeah.
You didn't bang a single hurdle. You seemed really smooth over the hurdles. Same number of steps in between. How are you feeling going into your next round of competition?
Ooh, I think I'm feeling pretty good, actually. Like, after running that 44, I'm like, I think I'm set now. I'm like, finally broke it, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, was 45 a kind of a mental barrier for you?
Not so much. I think it was more like, I know I can run a 45 because I've been doing it consistently, and I'm like, I know I can run faster. I just got to push for it.
Okay.
So I'm like, this race, I'm like, I felt good coming out of the blocks. I'm like, just got to keep it.
And Josie, remind me where you're going to school next year?
Idaho State University.
Idaho State.
Yes.
I think I might have said it wrong. And you're going to compete in the heptathlon.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you also won yesterday the triple jump?
Yes, I did.
Did you compete in the long jump today?
Yes, I did.
You won that too, didn't
Yes,
you?
I did.
Look at this is a four-time district champion just in the last 2 days. Congratulations. Good luck next
Thank
year.
you.
I see good things ahead for you. We'll keep looking for you on the results for your college.
I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go back down to the track, and we'll take a look at our entrance in the boys 4A 3,200 meter run. Congratulations, Josie. All right, Hayden Reich from Camas, Cohen Butler from Camas, Hiram Lacker from Union, Ryan Koninger from Skyview, Caden Ashworth from Battleground, Sabin Kotsovos from Union, Max Merrifield from Camas, Aiden Stewart from Camas, Marco Solari, Enzo Solari, I'm going to guess they're related, from Union, Sterling Sutton from Battleground, Cameron Ryder from Camas, and Chester Gardner from Skyview. And we are off. Just missed the start of the race, but you'll get the idea. They're going to be going around 8 times. Josie Settle, my goodness. She has the fastest time in the state in the 100, the 110 meter hurdles and the 300 meter hurdles. So I think what you're looking there is a young lady who may very well be your next 3A state champion in both of those events. I haven't had a chance to look at where she stacks up in the long and the triple jump, but she is some kind of athlete, so I would expect big things from her as she heads into state level competition. And like just about any distance event on the 4A level in the Greater St. Helens League, you're going to see Camas right there in the front. I didn't get a chance to see their bib numbers coming across, but my guess is that in there you're going to see Max Merrifield, Aiden Stewart, and perhaps, Hayden Reich, Cohen Butler, and Max Merrifield. I was looking at my bib numbers a little bit incorrectly. I'm going to see while this race is underway if we can go back and see if they've amended those girls' 3A 800 meter times. I don't know if they can do that. Yeah, they still have Margarita Mahai with a time of 2:47, but I know she ran well faster than that after we looked at the tape. This is our last 3,200 meter run of the day. And then we'll get set for the penultimate race, the one that is often the fan favorite, the 4x400. right, we are back to our coverage of the boys 4A 3,200 meter run. This will be the halfway mark. And I believe that was bib number 1 in the lead, and that would be Hayden Reich from Camas. Cohen Butler, his teammate, I believe, is in second. I told Rodney yesterday that I was going to bring my binoculars so I could get a better look at their bibs, but I didn't. I forgot. I had to pick up dog food. Just listening. Want to thank our crew today. A couple different students from Union High School, along with their video production teacher, Jory Randall, helping out, teaching the kids the new, some video skills, live broadcast skills. I always like telling these kids this is something you can put on a resume. You were part of a crew that did a live Comcast sports broadcast. Not Comcast sports in quotes, but it was a live sports broadcast on Comcast. And so that's a good thing for these kids to put on a resume, real life job skills. Of course, always thanking Nathan and Jacob, our 2 alumni helpers from Heritage High School. They graduated a little while back. I still say they're alumni helpers from Heritage. And our director today, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Wade Ferguson. Starting to think Rodney's work emergency is going to preclude him from joining us today. So it's going to be my soothing voice for this 3.5 hours of track and field coverage. And you know what? Here is our runner from Union High School, Hiram Locker, making a push into third place. He's about 60 meters back. There he is, from our leaders from Camas, but he's made a strong move into third place. And I apologize if I'm getting some of these names wrong. I can't see the bib numbers all that great. And our live timing doesn't give us splits, but just results. Sometimes at a higher level competition, they'll give us splits. And here we are coming up on the bell lap. Hayden Reich in the lead. Cohen Butler in second, and Hiram Locker in third, I believe. Still gas left in the tank for our 2 runners leading the pack from Camas. Real strong finish here. Impressive to have a long kick or a long stride with 200 meters left in a 3,200 meter race. Real strong finish from both of these young men. 9:53 and change, 9:55 and change. Great runs there. Maybe a little bit off their season best, although I think Cohen Butler might have beat his best time of the season. And there's Hiram Locker from Union in third. So we'll get the rest of these runners across as we finish our last distance race of the day. And I will step aside as we get ready for our 4x400 meter relay races. All right, we are back here in the winner's circle as we await the start of the 3A boys 4x400 meter run. I am joined now by Ryder Kepler from Evergreen High School, our 3A champion in the boys high jump, clearing a height of 6'1" on 2 attempts. I heard folks screaming for you.
Yeah.
And you were in a duel with an athlete from Prairie
Yeah.
for the title. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling really good. Yeah. Feels good. Last year I didn't do that good. And this year I came back and I did what I had to do.
Ryder, what year in school are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Oh my goodness. Okay. See, I love hearing this because that means there are better jumps, higher jumps ahead. 6'2", I guess, is your personal best.
Yeah.
So we're going to clear 6'3" next year, right?
Yes.
Or
I'm planning on doing it for regionals. I feel like I could do it, but yeah.
Okay. So you're feeling nice and loose going into regionals.
Yeah.
How was the heat today?
It was good. It was a little hot, but the breeze took it off, and it just made it so it was a little colder.
But not as windy as it can be.
Yeah, not as windy.
Now, do you play football?
Yeah, I play football.
Okay, so we've been out here in the fall, and it can get really windy.
Yeah.
And we always wonder if it gets a little too windy for the high jump, but nice and calm conditions down there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations on your district title, and we'll be looking for your name in the paper as you head to regionals.
Okay, thank you.
All right, congratulations. Yep. All right, now let's step aside real quick. Sorry about that, Wade, because I know we already have runners on the track for our boys 3A 4x400 meter run. I think we do have time real quick for your lane assignments. Evergreen in lane 3, Prairie in lane 4, Kelso in lane 5, Mountain View in lane 6. Four times around the track, 4 athletes. The exchange zones here not as critical as it would be in the 4x100 meter race. I love that. Kelso out quick. That is getting my notes here. Neck and neck, Kelso and Prairie down front. Prairie first to the exchange. Kelso second. That's Mountain View and Evergreen making up some room. So they're in their lanes for the first 500 meters, or at least the first 100 meters of the second leg. And once they pass the cones there, they can cut to the inside. So there they are. Prairie first to the inside lane. Kelso followed closely by our teams from Mountain View and Evergreen. Well, after a really great start from Kelso, it looks like their second runner has come up with an injury, so they are struggling. So that's going to be Prairie out front now, Evergreen in second. Mountain View in third. I think that, I'm trying to see who that third place runner, there's Kelso. Lots of ground to make up, but it's just not going to happen. That's unfortunate. Always unfortunate to see injuries so late in the meet. That's Kyle Chen from Mountain View running the third leg for Mountain View. And what a monster run from him. This is Kyle Chen coming down the home stretch. Yeah, that's Kyle. Closing the gap with Prairie. Prairie first to the baton. Mountain View second. Evergreen in third. That's Evergreen moving into second. 400 meters left. 300 meters left. And oh my goodness, you know, he's off your screen, but here's Cameron Madison, who's a 4-time district champion, grabbing the baton in fourth place. And I'm just going to be so impressed to see how much ground he can make up for his injured teammate. Oh my goodness, look at how fast Cameron Madison is going. It's not going to be enough, so we'll switch back to our leaders here. And it is going to be a race. Here's Prairie first of the tape. Evergreen is going to come within a hair. And Mountain View in third. And oh my goodness, what an effort from Cameron Madison. Great kid, Cam Madison. It's been great talking with him over the last couple of years. And the title is going to go to Prairie in that race. Unfortunate injury there on the inside of your track, just off the finish line for our Kelso runner, but thankfully we've got on-site trainers and they're taking a look at him right now. And I think it's probably just warm enough that some kids might get some tight muscles out there. The heat is just kind of on the edge of being too warm for kids who might not be accustomed to it here in the Northwest, especially if you haven't had enough water throughout the day. All right, so let's give you the lane assignments for this next heat. The boys 4A, 4x4, 100-meter relay. Skyview in lane 3, Camas in lane 4, Union in lane 5, and Battleground in lane 6. Fastest seed time will, of course, be your lane 4 runners with a time of 3:29. Pretty blistering time. Got some great runners in there, including James Puffer, your 1,600 meter and 800 meter 4A champion. All right, we have the runners on the track. Of course, 4 times around. This is the one that always gets the crowds going and people lining the track. Want to give a shout out to our track championship organizers. Adam Matheson from Mountain View High School taking the lead, but they have done a great job of keeping non-athletes from wandering all over the infield, which gets confusing. It can also get dangerous with discuses and shot puts and javelins flying all over. It's a safety concern, but just especially keeping athletes off the infield, or spectators and friends off the infield is always a great thing at our track meet. So we'll get this race underway. And again, look for the team from Camas. They've got a good 3-second season best time above the team from Union. So this is going to be Camas and Union.
Currently we have Camas in the lead, followed by Battleground, and looks like Union in third, with Mountain View in fourth. Pretty close race overall, although Union is taking over the second place. It'll be close at this exchange here. Camas and Union neck and neck on the exchange.
And
but Camas got a good, solid push.
Want to thank Jory Randall for jumping in on the microphone there. That's our video production teacher from Union High School, jumping in while I'm doing a little pre-interview for our next winner's circle race, or winner's circle interview. We'll be talking with Riley Gord, the senior from Kelso High School, who just won the girls 3A pole vault for the second year running. Oh my goodness, this is still a race.
Oh man, look at that. Camas holding the lead. Union right neck and neck.
And here it is, our bell lap with everybody within a step.
There you go.
Camas and Prairie cutting to the inside. Camas is going to have to swing wide if they're going to win it.
It's hard not to root for your home team there as a teacher at Union. But a good, solid race nonetheless. There goes Camas. Camas just took the lead again.
I said Prairie. I meant
Union.
Union. I'm seeing black uniforms.
Yeah, everywhere today.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Camas is going to hang in there.
Camas in front.
Oh, Mountain View taking up the... Oh, no, he's not going to pass him. He's going to just hang there in third.
All right. So that was Camas, Union, Skyview, and Battleground.
Skyview, not Mountain View.
You're seeing blue uniforms, whereas just
Yeah,
a minute
right.
ago I was seeing black uniforms. Lots of schools with the same color. So I'm going to step aside as we get ready to bring the girls onto the track, and we're going to, we see a golf cart coming onto the course to help get that injured Kelso runner from the 4x4 race out of the way. So we're ready to come back here into the winner's circle whenever you're ready, Wade. All right, back here in the winner's circle, I've got to talk to Riley Gord a couple times. Congratulations. Let's do this. High five.
Thank you.
You've now won the pole vault 2 years running?
Yep.
Your jump this year was 11.7.
11.7.
Okay, a little bit off your best, 12 feet even. How are you feeling going into a regional competition?
Feeling great. I'm feeling excited. I went there last year. It was a really fun experience, and I'm just super excited to hopefully make a new PR and do well.
We talked with some other athletes about the wind, which can sometimes be problematic here, kind of swirls around, but it seems pretty calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not affecting your jumps at all today?
No, not too bad. No.
How'd your legs feel with a little bit warmer temperatures?
Yeah, they felt good. Definitely a little bit more tired than usual, but it was a great day. No complaints.
Okay, so as you head to the regional competition, you're going to best 11.7, 12 feet even is your best. You can go higher than that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
hopefully.
Okay, and so you're a senior. What are you doing next year, Riley?
I'm going to Boise State University to study nursing.
That's right. We talked about that yesterday. My daughter running her, perhaps her last track and field races of the year tonight and tomorrow. So you're going to enjoy Boise State.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Riley Gord from Kelso High School.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go back down to the track as we get ready for the 3A girls 4x400 meter run. We are back. Took a second to get that round of applause there is for the injured Kelso runner who is making his way off the track in the golf cart, getting some attention. We're hoping he's okay. Yep. Unfortunate way to end the year. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this race underway, and then as soon as this race is finished, we're going to talk with Cameron Madison again. Really enjoy talking to this young man. Let's take a look at the lane assignments for this race. This is the 3A girls 4x4. Kelso, Evergreen, and Prairie lanes 3, 4, and 5. Evergreen, of course, will have the fastest seed time, given that they are in lane 4 with a time of 4:34.67, about 9 seconds better than the other two teams in this race, which come in with very close times, just over 4:43. To you just as soon as this race is over. Jory, thanks for jumping in there.
Yeah, no problem.
Rodney wasn't able to make it. He texted me earlier today. He said, things are really crazy over here at work today, so I don't think I'm going to make it.
I've been working the high school broadcast, mostly with the Vancouver School District, but some with the Evergreen School District as well for I think 7, maybe 8 years.
Even
And this
b-
is
even-
the first time on mic.
Even before you were a teacher at
Yeah.
Union High School, helping out our counterparts over there at VPS Game Time. And so Jory's been bringing out some students for our last couple sporting events of the year. We did a couple broadcasts of the Union basketball, boys and girls basketball teams, varsity teams, and here at the track meet. And we're going to bring Jory and his students out to help us out in our football season in the fall, so that's going to be good. We've got some new bells and whistles we're excited to show you as we head into football season. Real excited about some things we're going to be able to pull off from a technical standpoint.
From a teacher standpoint, I like that we'll be dry and warm.
Yeah, that I was, Rodney and I talk about this every time, is something great about McKenzie Stadium is it's one of the few stadiums in our area that is covered out of the elements.
Yeah, we don't quite get that over the McKenzie. If you're in the lower seats where all the students stand.
At Kiggins.
At Kiggins,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
we're at McKenzie. At Kiggins, where the students all sit, they get soaked. All right, looks like Kelso's fallen behind a little bit, but what was it? It was Prairie and
Evergreen.
Evergreen, and they're pretty neck and neck right there.
So they will be in their lanes through this final 100 meters of the first leg and for the first 100 meters of the second leg. Evergreen and Prairie, they're both going to get the baton about the same time. Evergreen just a hair ahead.
Here we go with Kelso.
Kelso in third. You'll see them come through the orange cones on the far side of the track. And there they are, breaking to the inside lane. Prairie, followed by Evergreen.
Looks like Prairie's pulling a little bit of a distance between the two. Sorry, Evergreen is pulling the distance. Evergreen is in the lead, Prairie in second.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see those dark colored jerseys with the way the light's falling here. And here is our final lap. Was that our final lap, or are we on lap 3? No, we are on lap 3.
3, yes.
Sorry. Both the anchor leg runners, if they stayed in the same order from my heat sheet here, Adrian Wright and Jules Staley, both really good open 400-meter runners. And you know who that is from Evergreen. That is our two-time district champion, Claire Rogge, who just passed off the baton. I believe that's her. She's had a long weekend. She just won the 1600 and the 3200, and she's going to have run the third leg of their district championship 4x400 meter race, and so that's going to be 3 district titles for her this week.
And with that last handoff, Evergreen has a decent-sized lead going into that last corner.
So we'll bring Evergreen home to the finish and get ready for our next winner circle interview.
Here she comes. Hanging in there strong. The other ladies are not giving up, definitely.
There's another district title for Evergreen High School, 4x400. Prairie coming in second. And Kelso heading into the home stretch. They're going to take third. And here comes our Kelso runner rounding out the girls 3A 4x400. Come on, step in here as we bring in Cam Madison for another winner's circle interview. I want to talk about 2 races I just saw you run. You are tireless. So Cam just won. Yesterday he won the boys 3A 1,600 meter run in commanding fashion. Today the 3,200 meter run from gun to tape. How did that race feel?
Felt all right. I was a bit conservative, It's like usual. Out in front, running against the clock is difficult. So
it's hard without somebody to run right there and push you. So this is something you're going to experience firsthand next year at University of Portland. So I also want to talk about your blistering last lap in the 4x400 meter relay race. Unfortunately, one of your teammates went down with an injury. What can you tell me about how he's doing?
They're checking him out right now. Obviously, after the race, he was pretty beaten up about it. We were in a good spot to go to regionals, but at the end of the day, as long as he's good and ready to go by regionals, it's nothing to the team. So
okay, yeah, we want his safety and well-being to be first. So as you head into your freshman year at University of Portland, what's the summer going to look like for you? Just lots more miles.
Lots of miles. Looking like 70 up in that 75 range a week.
Okay.
For right now.
Do you take a day off during the week?
Yeah. Well, so I go 13 days on, 1 day off. So a day every other week.
Okay, that's maybe a little bit more than I would have you do, but I'm not your coach. So just make sure you get your rest, drink your fluids, and we'll see how you do next year at University of Portland. Congratulations. It's been fun talking to you the last couple years, Cam. All right, congratulations. So let's go back down to the track as we get ready for the girls 4A 4x400.
All day. So the nice thing about this race for me is the third leg of the Skyview team is my neighbor. Though it's Skyview, and again, I'm a union teacher, so that's a little bit of a hard call for me who I'm rooting for here, but I know she'll do her best out there. So shout out to Evelyn Reed there. We got Battleground in lane 3, Camas in lane 4, Skyview in lane 5, and Union in lane 6. And if you're looking at the colors, that's orange there for the Battleground team. Union and Camas, if you're looking at the front, both are in black, but Camas has that nice red bright stripe on the back. And then in this race, Skyview is our only blue team, so that should help.
All right, and we are underway for the girls 4A 4x400 meter run. Camus with the best time, 3:59, just under 4 minutes, which is great time.
Here we go. We got Skyview coming down the track first, followed by Union, although Camus just took over the Union spot, and Battleground in the back of the pack. Skyview with the handoff, Camus with the handoff. Battleground beat Union for the handoff. Union was a little bit late on that. Skyview still has a pretty decent lead out front with Camus in second. Battleground still in third.
Okay. Yeah, just hold.
Oh, Camus is making a move here. I don't think they're going to get the pass before the handoff, but it will be close. Oh, I am wrong. I am very wrong there. Camus just passed up Skyview, and they made the pass first. Skyview in second, with Miss Reed taking that third leg of Skyview. Battleground in third place there, with Union finally making the pass there at the end. I was talking to Skyview, the runner running for Skyview right now, her dad earlier. And she's been running on an injury the last couple track meets. And he's really hoping that this summer break will give her some time to rest up, because she's a big cross-country runner, too.
Yeah. You know, track season is, cross-country season, you know, can run 8 weeks maybe, but track season a little bit longer. Camus first to the tape here. They are just under their best time if they run an even pace. So here we are into the final leg. Let's see if they can, if Camus can dip under 4 minutes like they've done, 3:59. But oh my goodness, if that is if that's Elisa Marshall on that anchor leg, I believe. They're doing well, and I do see Dia Covarrubias, who won the 100 and the 200, running the anchor leg for Skyview, and she is just a sophomore, so we're going to see more things from her in the next couple of years. So here comes Camus down, 100 meters to go.
She's a sophomore in anchor, or in the third runner that I was just talking about. She's also a sophomore.
So a young Skyview squad, so
yeah.
We'll see some more from them. Camus with the win, just over 4 minutes in the final analysis. Skyview 4:06 and change. Here comes Battleground, followed by Union to wrap up our 4A.
There's Battleground crossing at about 4:20, and Union at 4:28. There we have it. As we make a quick transition here to the winner's circle. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned for these couple last students here as we get them up to the winner's circle and get their time to shine. For all of the admin, parents, staff members, whoever that helped organize and just maintain the track today, thank you all. This event definitely could not happen without all the work that goes into it from all the various different district members.
All right, as we wrap up our second day, our last day of live broadcast coverage here from McKenzie Stadium, the 3A and 4A Greater St. Helens League Track and Field Championships. I'm going to leaf through my notes here real quick as we welcome in LaDamian McCord, the winner of the boys 3A 200-meter run. Tell me about your race.
It was kind of just like all throughout practice this week, we just been practicing like getting the curve and really like being the staggered and, getting the first place out of the corner and then just carrying all the way through the finish line. And I think really running the 400 throughout the year has really helped my like legs and body just like be ready to push through the finish line all the way through.
Yeah, so being first into that home stretch really is beneficial. Mm-hmm. I'm losing my microphone here. Sorry about that, Wade. Sorry, lots of crackling there. 22.76, your winning time.
Yep.
That's a new PR?
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into regional competition?
I'm feeling pretty good, just ready to get a new PR because it's only my second time running the 200 this season. So
really?
Yeah, I'm just ready to keep on getting PRs, moving forward.
And LaDamian, remind me, you're just a junior?
No, I'm a senior.
You're a senior?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to do next year?
I'm going to West Oregon for football.
Western Oregon for football.
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're going to look for good things for you. Congratulations on a wonderful athletic career. I've had a great time watching you on the football field, on the track. You're going to do great things. Congratulations, LaDamian, and he's going to bring on Aiden. Okay, I'm going to leaf through my notes again, and we are going to bring on the winner of the 3A boys 800-meter run, Aiden Walker from Prairie. Aiden, what year in school are you?
I'm a junior right now.
You're a junior. 2 minutes and 0.04 seconds.
I was so close. I was sitting there. I look at the time and I'm sitting like, I just broke 2, and then I see the 0.04. I'm like, no.
Yeah, and I was talking about how for middle distance runners, that 2-minute barrier is a big psychological hurdle. So if you're just a junior, you're going to break it any second, right? Are you going to go to regional competition?
I plan to break 2 at regionals and just go from there, make it fun.
Okay, you're gonna have some stiff competition there. Congratulations to Aiden Walker, the winner of the boys 3A 800 meter, and I'm going to go ahead and call it under 2 minutes.
Let's go. Thank you so much, though.
All right, congratulations. And we're going to bring on somebody that I didn't have a chance to pre-interview, so we'll just hand the mic. Tell me your name.
Josiah.
Okay, and what event did you win?
Long jump.
Long jump. What was your final jump?
22 feet 8 inches.
How's that stack up against your best?
I PR'd by almost a foot.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay. To PR by a foot in the long jump is a big deal. How'd you feel about that jump?
I put the hours in the weight room, and just to see it come to fruition and just jump and have confidence in my body after I worked so hard it just felt great.
So you got 3 jumps, right?
Yeah.
So when did you hit that?
My first jump was a 21.4, and then that second jump after that was a 22.8.
Okay, did you scratch the third, or did you jump?
I jumped the third, and it was below, and then I went to finals and jumped my last final jump and scratched the second 2 because I had another event.
Okay. How you feel going into regional competition? You going to go to regionals?
Oh yeah, I plan to go to regionals. It's gonna be a lot of competition. It's gonna be fun, and we're just gonna bring the comp.
Because I didn't get to pre-interview before we started talking to you. What year in school are you?
I go to Evergreen right here.
No, what year?
Oh, 2025.
2025, so you are a sophomore.
Sophomore. Yeah.
Okay, so a district title as a sophomore, a brand new PR. We're going to get you probably a couple more district championships before it's over, I think. Good job, young man.
Thanks.
Congratulations. All right, that does it for this year of coverage at the Greater St. Helens League Track and Field Championships. I want to thank the crew. We want to thank the meet organizers. We want to thank the fans, and most of all, the athletes. Congratulations on all your accomplishments, whether you were a district champion or just doing your best to run a new PR. Congratulations. We will be back next year with more track and field coverage. And, of course, join us in the fall on the channels of TV, etc., Comcast channels 28 and 328, and on the Evergreen Public Schools YouTube channel. We've got already big plans for our fall sports season, so please tune in, and thank you all for watching. Have a great evening.